Hello everyone and welcome back. This is episode 2 of our Football Manager 2017 experiment, and there you go. There is the league table as it stands now. Getting very close there. Man City leading the way. Arsenal and Chelsea are following very closely behind. And then they've got the break off of Liverpool, Man United and Tottenham then. So there's a little bit of a gap generating 6 points there. And then as you can see, the losses only against each other as per expected. Yep, so the draws. Man City were held away to Maidstone. There's a surprise. But everyone else, Sutton, Man United have been held by Sutton United. Tottenham haven't drawn any games, so the smaller teams are capable of preventing these teams from winning, but only two on 2 occasions. But what's mental is the top team, Man City, only lost 1 against Chelsea at home. We're held by Maidstone, who are down in 19th. That's a bit mental, that is. But to be honest with you, yeah, it's all going exactly as you would have expected it to. I think somebody said on the last episode, Man City would be the ones who win the league. Well, it's still looking good on that one. I think the rest of it now is now the 1st of February. Let's have a little look at the National League transfers. So if we sort that by fee. Now we've had some movement. Right, Moussa Dembele has gone to China. Theo Walcott to Hull. Joe Gomez to Southampton. Francis Coquelin has gone to Watford. Gabriel Paulista, he's gone to China. Mohamed El to Arsenal are the selling team, yeah. Will that cost them? Yeah, Elneny to Hull. Fernando from Man City to Al Jazeera. Fellaini and Valencia have left United. And then obviously remember Danny Ings, Carl Jenkinson's not a big one. Dover made a couple of grand, but Arsenal are the biggest selling team. The only ones who haven't sold anyone at all is Chelsea. Will Chelsea be the ones who will end up capitalising because of that? I'd say Arsenal. Arsenal were looking good in the position that they were in, but they've sold 5 players. I've got a feeling that may end up costing them. But anyway, let's have a look at the player stats. The player overview. So best at hitting the target is I'm trying to see what team that is. But I know that's Sutton. Rory Deacon remembers him from the FA Cup last year. So the top goal scorer, no surprise there, Harry Kane with 18. Most assists, Hazard. Key tackles, Lovren. Least conceded, David De Gea. Most clean sheets, Willie Caballero. Jeez. And key passes, Mesut Ozil. So yeah, there's no surprise with which players are leading the player stats at the moment. So one thing we haven't touched on yet is how these teams are doing in Europe. Now, I know only Liverpool are not in Europe, so we'll have a little look at the Champions League. I'll take you there now, but I won't make you have to wait through all the clicking round. Okay then, so here we go. The first knockout round of the Champions League. Tottenham have made it through, Man City have made it through, and Arsenal have made it through. So where they've all kept their good players, obviously they were always going to stand a chance of doing well. But then at the same time, someone did mention that a 46 games a season competition that you're in, then a European campaign with cup campaigns as well, that's going to be a hell of a lot of games for these players to play. So you can see there now, yeah. Obviously, Man United must have gone out. Off the top and won their group with Paris Saint-Germain and Sevilla in it. Man City finished second in their group with Real Madrid and Roma and Ajax. Oh yeah, Leicester are the other team in it. So Man United didn't make it into that, did they? Leicester went out. Arsenal finished second in their group with Juventus and Lyon and Red Bull Salzburg. So the only other thing to do now, European-wise, is a look at Man United in the Europa League. Yeah, so there you have it, Man United through the first knockout round in the Europa League. So these teams, they're not going to be in Europe next year unless one of them win the FA Cup, and then only the Europa League awaits them. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to follow the progress of the teams in the Premier League who do qualify. Actually, that's a good point. Without the Big Six, who's winning the Premier League? So this is rather interesting. Norwich, Leicester, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Middlesbrough are the top 5 in the Premier League at the moment. Wow. I could have been certain Everton would have been my favourites. Everton, Southampton or West Ham would have been my favourites to win. So you can see the teams that got put back in, like Villa, put back in, Huddersfield because they got promoted, put in with Derby. Brighton because they got promoted, Newcastle were put back in. And the other team that were put in are Norwich, who look like they may be on course to win the Premier League. That's pretty mental, really, isn't it? Can you imagine Norwich, Leicester, Newcastle and Bournemouth potentially could be the teams representing England in the Champions League next year? Wow. Well, this is all unfolding rather well, to be honest with you. I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to take it to the end of the season. Who's going to win the league? Who's going to win the Premier League? Who's going to get promoted from the National League? We'll soon see. Okay then guys, and here we go, and what a surprise. It really went against where I thought it might go. Arsenal were the ones who sold up, and they still went and won the league on goal difference. Look at that. By 6 goals on goal difference. Man City were only 1 point away, and Man United were only a further point. Tottenham lagging behind a little bit, and Liverpool really fell off the boil in the end. Didn't even make the playoffs. So Arsenal and Man United are the ones who won the playoffs. Let's have a little look at the playoffs. In the semi-finals, Tottenham beat Chelsea in the playoffs. Man United beat Man City. Then in the playoff final, Man United won 1-0 after extra time. So there we have it. Man United and Arsenal are the 2 teams that go into League 2. Tottenham, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool are the teams that remain in the conference. So let's look at the player ones. Who finished top scorer? I'm saying Harry Kane. Yeah, Harry Kane. Hazard with the most assists. Lloris ended again the most clean sheets in the end. Tottenham had a bit of a surge towards the end. David De Gea was the least conceded. So I feel like I should know who this team are. I recognise them. Bromley, that's them. Bromley. So Daniel Johnson of Bromley and Liam Daly of Solihull Moors got themselves into the accolades for the season. But there we go. That's the Vanarama National League. Let's look at the Premier League. Well. Leicester retain the Premier League. Obviously with the help of the Big Six being thrown out, of course, but there you go. Leicester have retained the Premier League. Bournemouth, Stoke and West Ham will be Champions League teams. Newcastle, Norwich and Southampton will be in the Europa League next year. So, with only the Europa League and with only League 2 to look forward to, I think Arsenal and Man United are going to be instant favourites to be finishing in the top 3. They will be the top 2, I believe. Another 2 of the other teams, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham, will be the ones to get through the conference next season, I believe. Let's have a look how the Championship. But obviously first, relegated, Villa, Huddersfield and Hull. Yeah, I could have called that. So promoted into the Premier League, Leeds as champions, Reading promoted and Brentford. Wow, there we go, who went down? And down go Burton, Bradford and Bolton. And then into League 1, we have Fleetwood get promoted as champions, Oxford and Scunthorpe get promoted with them. Going down, Plymouth, Luton, Chesterfield and Blackpool will be in League 2 next season. And then League 2, Wickham go up as champions, Crewe, Mansfield and then Exeter through the playoffs. And going down into the conference are Torquay and York. Newport County didn't look like they were going to get relegated anywhere through the season, so I'm happy with that one. Happy days. And there you go. That makes up the domestic season. Let's have a look at the Champions League and Europa League. Okay, so on the 31st of May, the Champions League's final is still to be played out. Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona. Going back to the semi-final, Tottenham were the furthest ones from England, getting knocked out by Barcelona 4-0 on aggregate. Quarter-final, still only Tottenham from England. So that means Tottenham obviously beat Dortmund there. Man City were knocked out by Barcelona. Arsenal knocked out by Sporting Lisbon. And we only have now, because remember Chelsea and Liverpool didn't get into Europe, did they? So we've only got to look at Man United in the Europa League. So you have it, Man United didn't win the Europa League. Did they get to the semis? No. Did they get to the quarterfinals? No, but Leicester did. Second knockout round. Leicester knocked Man United out of the second knockout round. Right, the only thing we haven't done is the domestic cups. Let's have a little look at that. So none of our big six won the FA Cup. Did they get the semi-final? No. Did they get to the sixth round? Arsenal did. Go back as far as the fifth round and that'll be the lot. So Arsenal, Chelsea. So a lot of them went out early. I think the testing long season of playing conference football would have had a factor on that one. Let's have a look at the League Cup. I don't think the top six would have been in the League Cup. So Newcastle won the League Cup. None of them got to the semi-final. None of them got to the quarter-final. Fourth round. No, well, none of them. Obviously, they weren't in it then. That'll be the one then. They weren't in it. So what they would have been in is the FA Trophy, which was won by Tottenham. So Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal were in the semi-final. Liverpool knocked out by Arsenal there. I'm trying to look for... Right. Okay. Tottenham are not in it. Tottenham are in it, yeah, sorry. Missed them out in the third round. There you go. FA Trophy winners were Tottenham, who won on penalties against Man United in the final. So there is the first season completed of this experiment, and looking pretty good at the moment. We got a lot more to look at now because we'll be looking at the Conference and League 2 of this one. So stick around, people. The next one's going to be good. I think both teams are going to get through to League 1, and two more of our big six are going to be in League 2. They're going to be going up in twos until they get to at least around about the Championship. We'll see where they are then. But for now, that'll be all. So good day.